Warning: the following program is intended for mature audiences only. It may contain explicit language, adult talk, and actions not suitable for younger listeners. Viewer discretion is advised. Enjoy the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, how we doing? Welcome to the No Game Plan podcast. I am Zach.
I'm Caleb. This is our first episode. We'll be going over a variety of different things throughout our journey on this podcast. Today we'll be mostly talking about, how we got to know each other, some of our experiences, and then we'll get into recapping the NFL season and some of our picks for the awards. Maybe some predictions too.
Yeah, maybe some bets too. I don't know. What do you think?
Possible. We're watching the Nuggets and Spurs play right now, so
Might have to hit a quick little live bet
Live
on that.
bet. We'll be doing that in the future as well.
Yeah, definitely
Just a
doing
little
some live
preview
betting.
of what we'll be doing here. What else are we going to be covering on this podcast
All right,
here?
so our plan is, I'll just do like a quick rundown of like what we're gonna go over. We're gonna go over a bunch of different stuff, and you guys can just leave comments below like what you want to hear, what you want us to cover. But this is just like a rough estimate of what we're gonna cover. Talking about our lives growing up, like what it was like, our college experiences, as well as like sports we played in high school, the NFL season, which we're going to be covering today, crazy stories, relationships and advice.
That'll get
Yeah,
really interesting.
Yeah, there's some interesting topics with that. Album reactions.
That's something I'm excited for.
That'll be a big
fun.
one. I'm a big music fan. Love
You
music.
can tell by the shirt he's wearing right there.
Stain shirt, baby. For any of you Stain fans out there, fuck yeah, let's get it. I've seen them like 4 times now. I think they're awesome. I recommend. Favorite music, concert experiences. We're definitely gonna do some live streams at some point too. We wanna start with this, and as we kind of build along, we'll start going into the live stream.
Like the name of the podcast says, we really don't have a game plan. Every episode will kind of just be whatever we feel like talking about. Those are just some of the rough estimates we'll be talking about. And once the NFL playoffs starts, we'll probably try and do weekly updates on the NFL season as well, just to get our reactions to all the different rounds.
Right there.
It's great, Jack Daniels. Some Southern Peach.
Oh yeah.
Had it at the Bills Patriots game.
21 plus. Drink responsibly.
I had it at the Bills Patriots game a couple weeks ago, and let me tell you.
Let me tell you, Jim. Let me tell you.
That's good. That's some good stuff right there.
Yeah, but we definitely have a lot of good things planned. We decided to start this podcast up like while we were at school. We've always like wanted to do something like this because we like sharing our thoughts about sports and our lives and that sort of thing.
One of our next videos will also have some clips that we took from Corsica. It's the biggest little game in the nation between our school, Cortland, and Ithaca. We did some interviews.
Fuck Ithaca.
Did some interviews that game. So had some pretty funny reactions. So we'll put that out pretty soon. A little late, but still funny nonetheless. So
yeah,
that'll be one of our next videos.
All right, what do you think? You want to dive into some of this NFL stuff? Do a little recap?
I said we talk about how we got to know each other first.
Oh yeah, let's do that first.
We'll get into the NFL stuff.
No. All right, yeah. We'll do a little recap of our lives growing up.
And we pretty much known each other since birth. At this point, it's been 20 plus years. I'm 21, 22. But yeah, our parents went to the same church and then met each other in the nursery.
Basically, dude, I'm straight out of that womb, baby.
Brothers since day one, pretty much. So,
yep.
We've always just hung out after church or during the week, playing sports, wiffle ball, football, stuff like that in the backyard.
Right.
Went to opposite schools in the same town.
Right.
Still, TJ, wide. Still hung out a lot. Yeah. And then we ended up both going to Cortland. So, stay connected with your homies since day one and
Yeah, man.
just
A
keep
lot
it
of
going, baby.
Yeah, a lot of fond memories, man. I remember
A lot of
growing
fond
up.
memories right down here in
Yeah,
my
right
in my
down in the
parents' basement.
basement. Acting out Star Wars and
Oh my
stuff,
goodness.
all that stuff.
Dressing up as superheroes.
Yep, dressing up as superheroes, playing with
Saw
Beyblades.
that in the
Yeah,
intro.
you guys will see that in the intro. We got a lot of like aesthetic photos
Day
of
one
us,
pictures. Yep.
young and stuff. But yeah, long history. We've been friends like 20
20
years,
plus years. Yeah.
yeah, 20 something years. So stay close to your friend, man. It's
Yeah.
definitely something that's worth it for sure.
Yeah. And as our podcast goes along, we'll talk about more stories and such. But we just kind of wanted to get that out there in the first podcast, and really explain why we wanted to start this.
Yeah,
Get this podcast going,
yeah, for sure.
and let's get right into the NFL stuff, huh?
Yeah,
Get
yeah.
into that
Let's
recap.
fucking dive right in, baby. Let's go.
This is really why we want to start the podcast because we just talk about NFL all day. Well, try to hit parlays, which usually doesn't fucking
We
happen.
just get
So
We just get railed, dude, by parlays. It's bad. Like we'll put a
shout out
parlay
FanDuel
in.
though. I've been winning more on FanDuel than DraftKings, so
Yeah, we'll
that's
put
a
a
dub.
parlay in. Mostly me because he wins usually more than I do. You think it's gonna hit.
And then it
You
doesn't.
have some good aspirations of it, but it's just that one guy, the one guy that just doesn't do it for you. Everything else hits,
Shout out Josh
and you have some
Downs.
hope,
He's been hitting for me this year. I love
but
me some Josh
those just
Downs.
don't want to hit.
Yep.
So it's a constant
Like
thing. Donation to Vegas. Here you go.
like Nick Westbrook Akine scored I think 7 straight weeks, and then of course he doesn't score the week I bet on him. So it's just how it usually rolls. Let's get into a recap.
Before you start that, I'm gonna hop right into. I got the Steelers hat on right here. We're playing tomorrow, baby. Go Steeler Nation. I just want to say that.
Yeah, we'll look to upload this tomorrow before the game starts, especially because we're getting some predictions in for this weekend. Couple big games tomorrow that we'll get into a little bit later. So we'll get into a little recap. Right now, the teams that are locked into the playoffs are the Chiefs with the 1 seed. Little undeserved, but you know what? They're
Yep.
there.
A win is a win at the end of the day,
Yep. Bills got the 2 seed locked. Then the Ravens and Steelers are both playing tomorrow. If the Ravens win, they win the division. Steelers win and Ravens lose. Steelers win the division.
I hate that we have to rely on that, dude. Like it's just every year we have to, we have to win this big game or we have to have 7 different things happen. But it is what it is.
It is what it is.
Ravens are a good team. They're also in our division. Lamar's having one of the craziest years of his career, so it's like,
Yep.
It is what it is.
Texans are locked into the 4. They won their division. Chargers are locked into the playoffs. And then the Broncos, Dolphins, and Bengals all have a shot at getting that last playoff spot in the AFC.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, the Patriots have the lock for the number 1 pick. I think they'll probably take Travis Hunter. They don't need a quarterback. The Giants are idiots for winning last week, and they lost 1 pick. So it's a very
What are they now? 4?
Yep, it's a very Giants way to
Yep.
end their season.
Yep.
Moving on to the NFC, we got the Lions and Vikings in a battle for the 1st seed. Sunday Night Football.
Fantastic.
That's going to be a
dude.
huge game.
I'm excited for that. I'm definitely putting some parlays on that. You can count on it.
We'll get into that later as well. We got the Eagles locked into the 2 seed, 13-3. That is a solid season. Saquon kind of carried.
Yeah.
The Rams at the 3. They're
Rams are scary,
also
man.
locked in. They got a solid defense. Puka's back and healthy.
Yeah, Puka. They got Cooper Kupp. They got Kyron Williams.
They got some dogs on that team.
And Matt Stafford plays the way he should be, and in the playoffs, that's a dangerous team.
And then for other teams that are locked in the playoffs, the Commanders with Jade Daniels, dog.
Dog.
Packers, Jordan Love, also a dog, but he kind of sold me in fantasy because he hates Jaden Reed for some reason in the second half of the
Yeah.
season. And then the Buccaneers and the Falcons both have a chance to win the NFC South. I personally think it'll be the Bucks, and I hope it's the Bucks because they're the
They
more
play each other, right?
they
Or
do
no?
not. But the Bucks are just the more entertaining team. I love Baker Mayfield.
Baker's awesome, dude.
I love what
come
he's
a long
doing
way.
down there.
Yeah.
They got a great running back duo. Bucky Irving's been amazing in his rookie
Fantasy,
year.
dude.
He's
Fucking love Bucky Irving, bro.
Shad
He's been like
White.
saving my fantasy team. Too bad I lost in the playoffs though, but you know, you win some, you lose some.
You lose more, actually.
Yeah. You lose more, you win less. It's that sort of thing.
And then just something I'd like to bring up. The Cowboys missed the playoffs again. Love to see that. They are one of the worst franchises in the NFL,
Yeah.
along with the Giants, who could have had the first pick, but they're
Don't forget one other team.
just
The
terrible.
Jets.
Oh, I can't. I really want to talk about the Jets. Actually, as a Bills fan, it brings me so much joy that the Jets are just terrible year after year, especially with
Jim.
bringing in Aaron Rodgers, who's going to be the savior of their franchise at almost 40 years old.
Yeah.
Brings in his old buddy Devontae,
Didn't even do
and
anything.
they suck.
Yep.
They shit the bed again. Love to see it.
Yeah, that's same old Jets, bro. Keep wearing those paper brown bags over your head. Not gonna change anything.
All right. Next, we'll get into some of the games this weekend that matter.
I'm so scared,
I'll
dude.
say. We'll talk about some of the games that don't matter, but honestly,
who cares about that?
who cares?
You want to see the good
First, tomorrow we'll be uploading this hopefully before the games even start. We got the Browns at Baltimore at 4:30. It's going to be a tough one for the Browns to win.
Yeah.
They're starting Bailey Zappi, who hasn't started a single game all year. He wasn't that good on the Patriots either.
Yep.
Baltimore's got all their starters. They're trying to win the division, lock in that 3 seed in that home game in the playoffs. So I really don't see any chance for the Browns tomorrow.
Yeah, I can only hope that the Ravens lose, but you know, as being a Steelers fan, obviously, but I don't really see that happening.
Baltimore did
Honestly.
lose to Vegas earlier this year. It was week 2, but still, they did lose to Vegas.
They also did lose to the Browns earlier in the year, so
Yep.
some crazy shit could happen. You never know. That's the NFL, so it could go either way. For my sake, I hope the Ravens lose and we win, but you know we gotta play Joe Brr, so he's just gonna start slinging shit. So
Yep, that's the next game of the day. It'll
Oh,
be at
so scary, dude.
8 o'clock in Pittsburgh. What do you got? I'll let you go first. It's your team.
I don't know, man. As a Steelers fan, I gotta pick my team, bro. I can't pick against my team. Gotta go with the Steelers at home, man. I feel like it's gonna be a tight game. It's an AFC North game. It's probably gonna be a low scoring game. Probably mostly field goals for the Steelers. But the last time we played the Bengals, it was basically a shootout till the end. So I'm hoping that's kind of one of those games where we can kind of prove ourselves a little bit. And, you know, we got GP on the field. You know what I'm saying? We got Russell Wilson throwing the ball. You know, we got our defense. We got TJ Watt.
Wide.
You know, we got our guys on the back end. You know, shutting shit down, bro. I'm hoping we take it home. I got my Pittsburgh Steelers to take the dub.
I'm also going to take the Steelers. The Bengals defense is one of the worst in the league. Even though Trey Hendrickson somehow leads the league in sacks, they still suck. I think Russ will get it going again after the past few weeks.
I sure hope so.
He's been a little iffy.
Yeah.
They'll be fully loaded, ready to go. Hopefully win that division.
I think another thing with that game is tightening up the defense a little bit, because when we were playing the Chiefs, there was a lot of guys wide open. Travis Kelce had a bunch of catches that he was wide open. I think we need to stop playing zone, mix in some man coverages, do some blitzes. I'm hoping Terrell Austin kind of cranks that up a little bit for this game, because it's a must win. Or it's not a must win, but rather it's rather it's I'd rather win and have a better seed than lose and kind of wait
Yeah.
on other things to happen, sort of thing.
For the Bills'
Um,
sake, I also really hope the Steelers win this game because the Bills' defense will have no chance to stop the Bengals' offense. Joe Burrow has been lights out this year,
yeah, he's been
and
unstoppable.
with the Bills, I think they are starting to get a little healthier, but it's Joe Burrow. It's the Bills in the playoffs. It's the Bills' defense in the playoffs, I should say, and I really don't have much faith in the Bills beating them. But if anyone can keep up with Joe Burrow, it is Josh Allen. However, I still got Pittsburgh winning that game. One of the more important games Sunday is Carolina at Atlanta. Atlanta needs to win this game to even get a chance at going to the playoffs. So they'll be
Yep.
balls to the wall the whole game. One of the bets I have for this game, I'm going to take Bijan 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns. Wow.
He had 2 last week. Could have had 3, maybe 4 if Michael Penix knew how to throw a football.
Yeah, I don't
Uh,
know about that one, dude.
I will still take Bijan for 2 touchdowns in that game.
Yeah, that's a good pick. Mark that down right now. Write it down. I don't know about the Falcons though, man. They got Michael Penix playing as a rookie. He's played like a couple games,
Yep,
and
just
it's the end of the
a
year,
couple
and
starts.
it's literally a must win to get in, and you need the Bucks to lose. And if they win and the Bucks lose, I don't see them getting out of the first round because there's a lot of good teams in the NFC. There's a lot of competition, and another thing we didn't mention is the Lions and Vikings. They had the same record, right?
Yep.
Both 14-2. So the loser of that game is going to be a fifth seed, which has never been done in the history of the NFL.
Yeah, and then the Bucks
The
or the
14-win team's going to
Falcons
be
are
a
going to have to
fifth
play
seed.
the loser.
Yep.
So that's pretty
it's a
much
lot
a
of
loss
competition
anyway.
going on. Everybody's trying to fight for their spot. So
And I do think the Bucks are going to win their game. They are playing the Saints this week. Same with the Falcons. They're going to have all their starters going. They need to win this game. I think Baker, he's been balling out
he
this
might have
year.
like 450 passing yards, bro.
He's tied for second in passing touchdowns
Definitely,
this
dude.
year. He needs one more to get to 40 passing touchdowns this year. He's been out of his mind the past few weeks. I really don't see a way that the Saints can beat the
Yeah.
Bucks. Looking at some more important games this week, Kansas City and Denver is a really big game. If the Bengals win tomorrow, then Denver needs to win against the Chiefs to get into the playoffs. Bo Nix has been a little subpar the past couple weeks. His turnovers have gotten the best of him. Big game against the Bengals last week. They did make it to overtime, but Joe Burrow,
Yeah, dude. He played crazy.
inevitable.
Yep. It's.
Um,
I'm telling you, if he makes it to the playoffs, man, watch out because he's going to be
we're cooked.
lighting teams up.
Yep.
Especially if they crank up that defense a little bit, start playing a little bit better sound defense. I don't know, man. They can make a run. For sure.
Then next, Miami needs Denver to lose, and then they need to beat the Jets, which shouldn't be too hard. Like I
Yeah.
said earlier, the Jets are dumpster fire.
Yep.
So I think Miami easily wins that game. And
Is
then
Tua playing in that game? Tua's not playing, right?
Tua is back. I'm
Tua
pretty
is
sure.
back.
I think he was
But what
doubtful.
happened to him?
He had a
The
hip
injury?
injury
Okay.
last week. Then cap it off.
I mean, God forbid it was another concussion. Jesus, throwing up gang signs. I mean, that's what I thought it was at first, but
Yeah.
thank God he's okay.
Then lastly, Sunday Night Football primetime, Minnesota at
Prime
Detroit.
time.
Ford Field. I think this game's going to be a shootout. Detroit's defense is severely banged up. Most of their secondary is healthy. They got both their starting safeties.
Mm-hmm.
They're missing a couple corners, and then they're pretty much their whole defensive line and linebacking core is out. I think it'll be a shootout. I'm gonna take the Vikings in this one. Their defense has actually been pretty solid this year. and I think Kevin O'Connell can script something up to get the win in the end.
I think I'm going to go with you on this one. I'm going to take the Vikings. Like he said, the defense is, they're running thin. They got a lot of injuries. They don't have, obviously Aiden Hutchinson out for the year, or maybe out for the year. He could be back.
If they make it to the Super Bowl, he's coming back, but
Yep.
that's the only shot.
Yeah, I think Kevin O'Connell's going to call a good game. I think Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison,
Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones are going to get really heavily involved because this is a huge game. I think the Vikings will take this one from the Lions.
Can't count out Dan Campbell, though.
Yep, he is one crazy
Ben Johnson
dude.
is he's easily the best offensive coordinator in the NFL right now. I mean, who else do you see script a fumble that turns into a touchdown?
Yeah,
that's insane.
That's ridiculous, dude.
I think the Lions offense will keep them in it, but I just think that the Vikings defense will get a couple more stops.
Yeah, I agree.
It'll be a really good game, though. I think it'll be high scoring. Final score prediction, I'm going to say 45-38. It's kind of high. It's kind of high, but
I mean, both these offenses are super explosive. You got Justin Jefferson, you got Jordan Addison, and then on the other side, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown. You got
Jameson Williams.
As well. You got Jahmyr Gibbs. A lot of firepower. I think it's really going to be a shootout. But yeah, it's gonna be a good end to the season, the regular season, for sure.
Any playoff predictions for you? Chiefs are just going to win it all. As much as I hate to say it, like it's so scripted. Of course, they lose one game all season despite playing terrible football. I mean, their defense has played really well. Steve Spagnuolo is probably the best defensive coordinator out there.
Yep, for sure.
But it's just so fucking annoying.
Yeah, I'm sick of them winning shit, dude. Honestly, I don't know. My Steelers, I don't know. We'll see. It depends on how we play tomorrow. To be honest with you, if we can really start turning it up. If we do win the game and the Ravens lose,
play the Chargers.
We'll play the Chargers at home, which I feel pretty comfortable about. If we lose and the Ravens win, which they'll win the division, I think we have to play the Texans. We'll be the 5th seed.
Yep.
So we'll have to go to Houston, which I still feel pretty good about. I think there's a scenario for us to get the 6th seed.
No.
No, there's not.
I don't think so.
Okay. So it's either up for debate for the 3rd or the 5th, basically. But I don't know. I feel like we could win a game. But, I mean, we really got to play better, especially defensively lately. Turn up the offense a little bit, get some more explosive plays. I really want Arthur Smith to start calling some better plays.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
Yeah, for the Bills, the only way we make it to Kansas City is the AFC Championship. So like I said earlier, I really hope we don't have to play the Bengals. I'd much rather play the Broncos or the Dolphins, who Josh Allen owns. Pretty clear. I think he's like 13-2 maybe against them in his career. So that'd be fine with me. Then we'd probably have to play the Ravens or Texans in the second round. That I feel fine with. It'd be a home game. The regular season matchup against the Ravens didn't go so well, but
it's all good.
The Ravens choke in the playoffs. You saw last time the Bills.
They're very the thing with the Ravens is they're super good in the regular season. They'll have one or two bad games, and everyone's like, "Oh, is this Lamar's year? Can he do it this year?" And then you get to the playoffs, and he has one playoff win, one win in the playoffs. He just hasn't got it done in the playoffs. We haven't, obviously he has the 2 MVPs. He's a crazy good quarterback, but Like he needs that Super Bowl because all of the two-time MVP winners have won a Super Bowl. Every single one except Lamar Jackson. So he's going to be put in that conversation with the ultimate greats if he can win a Super Bowl. But it's I mean it's got to change. Like I hope it doesn't happen for my sake, but he's just such a good player. So
And I think if the Bills can get to the Chiefs this year, that this is their best chance ever. The defense going into the playoffs is healthy. Sunday we're playing the starters for like one drive. So we should be healthy going to the playoffs, knock on wood.
Yep. Gotta do that.
And if we can actually have a healthy defense and be starting Matt Milano and Terrell Bernard at linebacker against the Chiefs in the playoffs instead of A.J. Klein and Balin Spector, who might be the worst player in football.
Yeah, that's bad.
I feel like we have a better chance. And we already beat the Lions this year and the Chiefs. So if Josh just keeps doing what he's doing, I feel like this is the best chance we got. Even with the less proven roster of players, I think this is our best chance that Josh has ever had.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think losing Stephon Diggs was good for them because they didn't have all that extra drama going around behind the scenes. It kind of allowed him to focus on getting the ball to someone open rather than getting it to one person more than the rest of the team. Because he spreads the ball around. I think, what's the number of? He has like 10 or 12 different people with a touchdown.
13 different players on the Bills
13 different people,
including Josh Allen, who has a receiving touchdown.
Yeah.
I was there for that game. It was great.
Yeah.
Best game I've ever been to.
He's
a freak.
He's crazy, man. I do feel like I agree with him. I feel like this is his best year to do it because the Chiefs has kind of been on and off. Like they're still winning games, but the Bills did beat them in the regular season. And I feel like Josh Allen just plays really good in the playoffs regardless. It's just, a different, it's like special teams or it's defense that kind of affects that. Affects them winning the game.
This year, he's way lower on the turnover side, only 6 turnovers. And I think 2 or 3 of them have been arm punts. There was one against the Patriots that was an arm punt. It was 3rd and forever. I can't remember which game it was. It might have been against the Texans. That was an arm punt compared to last year when he had 18. So he's done really great job of protecting the football. Joe Brady, unbelievable. Compared to Ken Dorsey last year, who's literally a terrorist.
Wow. Matt Canada, I love Joe Brady. Fuck him too, dude.
I love Joe Brady.
He ruined the Steelers.
But going off that, what do you say we get into some of our NFL award takes?
Yes, I think we should dive into that. That's a little recap for you. We'll dive right into our selections for MVP and all the NFL awards. You want to start? We'll just kind of go back and forth.
Start it off. We'll go with MVP first, as much as I hate to say it. It's going to be Lamar Jackson. If we're going based off of stats, it has to be Lamar. While if we were going off of stats last year, it would have been Josh Allen. Unfortunately, that's just not how the NFL works. Lamar has been playing outstanding. His passing game has been, I think it's his best year yet, passing wise.
He's like, I think he's almost to 4,000 passing yards.
Yeah, he's made
minimal interceptions, more passing touchdowns.
He's made his receivers better. I mean,
yep.
He did get a lot of help from Derrick Henry this year.
Again, as much as I fucking hate it, it's true. Yeah, of course.
It made the Ravens able to, be more unpredictable than in years past with Derrick Henry, as well as Lamar finally being able to throw the ball. Then for MVP, if the Bengals somehow make the playoffs, my MVP is Joe Burrow. He's leading the league in pretty much everything that has to do with passing. He has been lights out all season. It's just that his defense and Zach Taylor is kind of a shitty coach.
Yeah, I
If
agree with that, man.
but if the Bengals make the playoffs, Joe Burrow should win MVP with Josh coming in second. Josh has been lights out. I love Josh Allen. He literally does everything for the Bills. Um, Rushing, receiving, passing. The guy does it all. And he's, like I
Yep.
mentioned, taking control of the turnover issues, doing more with, lesser players. Like we brought in Mac Hollins and Josh gives him a career year. I think he's got like 5, 6 touchdowns on the season. Keon Coleman, a rookie who had drop problems in college, has been good when he's been healthy. And then my favorite player on the Bills this year has been Khalil Shakir. I mean, I saw the past few years the potential to be a dog in the slot, and this year he's just really turned it up. That streak
He's
to
really
start the
good.
year without any drops was insane.
He's got some crazy good hands,
And he doesn't
for
get
sure.
tackled. The first guy is not going to tackle him, guaranteed.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm going Lamar and then Burrow if the Bengals get in.
All right. For me, my MVP, I'm gonna go Lamar first. For kind of the reasons we were just describing, his passing yards, passing game just in general has really improved. He's thrown less interceptions than last year. I think he has 39 passing touchdowns.
Yep, he's tied for third with Baker, or
Yep.
second with Baker.
Yep, 39 passing touchdowns. I think only Joe Burrow has more.
Yep.
And then I would agree with him again. If Joe Burrow makes the playoffs, I think he deserves the MVP. He's better in every statistical category when it comes to passing. Josh Allen's also had a really good year too. Probably one of his best years. He's had a lot of good years, but I think everything's kind of blending together for them. Hoping for your sake that they, keep it going. Josh plays good, which usually happens, and the defense plays a little bit better, sounder, and Sean McDermott doesn't act like an idiot either,
Yeah,
calling dumb timeouts and
no
stuff
more
like that.
terrorist timeouts.
Yeah,
Taliban
yeah,
timeouts.
talking about the Taliban and shit.
Yep.
But yeah, that's my MVP. I'd say Lamar. And then if Joe Burrow makes it into the playoffs, I'd say Joe Burrow. If that doesn't happen, maybe Josh Allen. I guess
Nice.
we'll see what happens.
I'd rather Josh get the Super Bowl MVP. So, all right.
Yeah.
Offensive player of the year. This one's pretty easy for me. It's Saquon. Like I think I mentioned earlier, he's kind of carried all season. AJ Brown was out for a few games. Saquon went off. They didn't lose games. Devontae Smith missed a few games. Again, Saquon goes crazy. And
Mm-hmm.
if Nick Sirianni let him play this weekend, he could have broken the record, but I get it. You're trying to win the Super Bowl. Still, offensive player of the year, Saquon Barkley.
I totally agree with you there. Saquon Barkley's had literally he's had a career year with the Eagles. I don't know why the Giants let him go. Acted like they didn't care. They didn't want to pay the man.
It would have been so great too to see Saquon break the record against
I
the
know,
Giants
I
this
know.
week.
I really wish they would do that, but even in Hard Knocks, dude, they were. I think the general manager was talking about, we don't want to pay for a guy that's, we don't think he's like a 2,000-yard rusher or whatever. He's, like making a joke, and, he's over 2,000 yards,
Yep.
100 yards away from the NFL record in rushing yards, which I don't know why Nick Sirianni wants to do that. Wants to sit him.
Keep him healthy.
Which I understand he wants to keep him healthy, but dude, let the guy get the record. Like, come on, it's his career. He's had a career year. You might as well add to it. But yeah, I got Saquon Barkley, sorry, for Offensive Player of the Year for me.
How about defensive player of the year? Who you got?
Defensive Player of
I
the
like
Year.
this take a lot.
This is kind
It's
of a
kind of out of the
sleeper pick.
box.
There's a lot of good defensive players out there. But I went with Kirby Joseph from the Lions, the safety there. He's had 9 interceptions,
2 big
He's
ones
played,
last week.
yeah, he had 2 last week. He's played really well. He's kind of kept this defense in check. This defense has been pretty good when it's healthy. And I think that Detroit Lions could go very, very, very far in the playoffs. This guy's done really well. I think he is my defensive player of the year pick.
My defensive player of the year is Nick Benito from the Denver Broncos. He's top 5 in the league in sacks, and he also has a pick 6 this year. I want to look at his tackles
Time for another,
loss
boys.
as well. But
Crack
a
another.
Broncos defense that really has been kind of bad the last few years. Nick Benito has turned them around, and with a rookie quarterback, that's really, really helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Nick Benito is my defensive player of the year. There's other guys like Trey Hendrickson who might have more sacks, might have better stats, but Nick Benito, I think, has been more impactful, which is really important for a team that's trying to make the playoffs and, again, has a rookie quarterback who struggles at times. That pick 6 was pretty special. It was
Yeah,
like a 70-yard
that was
pick
awesome.
6. He read it immediately and took it all the way to the house. Also has 2 forced fumbles and a fumble recovery for 50 yards or something. I don't know how he didn't house that one, but that's my DPOY. Offensive Rookie of the Year. A lot of good guys this year.
A lot of good ones. This was kind of tough for me, but yeah, go ahead. You can start us.
I have some honorable mentions for this I'd like to mention. Brian Thomas Jr. from the Jaguars. Pretty poverty franchise, but he was top 5. He was top 5 in receiving yards this year, which
terrible team.
I
Dude.
did not even know. So that went kind of under the radar. Bo Nix, too, has a chance to take Denver to the playoffs. But my offensive rookie of the year is Jane Daniels from the Commanders. He's been all Washington could ask for and more with his rushing and passing ability. He's what
He's been amazing.
They wanted RG3 to be. And he's finally given Terry McLaurin a quarterback, which I loved for fantasy purposes.
Mm-hmm.
I had him in one of my dynasty leagues, and it's nice to see him finally go off this year.
Mm-hmm.
And again, taking the Commanders to the playoffs. Dan Quinn's first year as Washington's head coach. Jane Daniels has been a dog. That's my pick.
All right, let's see. This was a tough one for me as well. You got Jane Daniels. He's really good. He's had a really good year. He's led his team to the playoff in his rookie year. He's been lights out. Ryan Thomas has been really good. Top 5 in yards, I believe. A lot of other good things. I picked Brock Bowers from the Las Vegas Raiders. I think he's been absolutely insane this year. He broke the, I think, rookie record for receptions for a tight end. He's been amazing. He's very versatile. He can block. He can run block. He can run routes. He can catch deep passes. He can do a lot. I feel like the only thing that the Raiders need is just a good quarterback. But That's my pick. I think he did phenomenal this year. He's got a bright future ahead of him.
Especially with Gardner Minshew and Aiden O'Connell at quarterback. Yeah, he did really good.
Yeah, like ridiculous. Not a lot of players would do what he did with those, caliber quarterbacks, which are very low tier quarterbacks.
How about your defensive player of the year or defensive rookie of the year? Sorry.
Defensive rookie of the year. This one was pretty easy for me. This guy's been awesome. He's from Florida State. Jared Verse for me from the Rams, man. He's been sensational. The Rams have looked really good on defense. He's kind of been, calling the plays. He's kind of been the guy to go to when it comes to the defense, kind of running the defense from the defensive end perspective.
Yeah,
that's my pick.
That was my pick as well. Obviously, Aaron Donald retired last year, and Verse has done a great job of stepping in. I mean, you can't replace Aaron Donald, but Jared Verse has done a pretty damn good job doing that. I want to look at some of his stats. Got 2 forced fumbles this year, which has been huge for them. He's got
These things are going down by water, like water right now, dude. So good.
He's got 4.5 sacks this year, which might not seem that much, but he's also a linebacker, defensive end, kind of hybrid. He's really doing everything for this Rams defense, and to lose someone like Aaron Donald, who's a first ballot Hall of Famer, to get someone like Jared Verse in the first round to really step up and carry that defense has been huge. And yeah, he's my defensive rookie of the year as well. Now my coach of the year. I'm going, for me, honestly, this pick was pretty easy. There's a few coaches I guess it could have been. Could say Dan Quinn with the Commanders. Really turned around that franchise. It also helped they got new ownership, replacing the Dan Snyder era. But I'm going with Kevin O'Connell. He's done it with a few different quarterbacks, but Sam Darnold's resurgence, I think, has because of Kevin O'Connell. He's been a great coach. His play calling, as long as he's been the Vikings head coach, has been really good, especially with Kirk. I mean, they got to the playoffs a couple years with him. He even somehow made Nick Mullins look serviceable for a few games, which I don't know how you do that.
Yeah, that's.
But yeah, I have to go with Kevin O'Connell. Vikings are 14-2 with a chance at the 1 seed. Yeah, he's been a great coach.
All right, so my coach of the year pick, it's kind of crazy a little bit. Okay, I'm a little biased as well. My coach of the year pick is Mike Tomlin. I think he's done a great job with this team that we have. You know, we bring in Russ, then we trade for Justin Fields, and for the whole offseason, we're just debating whether or not to start one quarterback over the other. When this whole thing happens, Russ gets injured, he has a calf injury. Justin Fields has to start for whatever it was, 4 weeks, I think. And then Tomlin's kind of debating, like who should I start, who should I give a chance? Russ is healthy, should I give him a chance? And he decides to go with Russ. And so we had some technical difficulties, ran out a little bit of storage. So, all right, we're continuing now. So
keep it real here.
Yep. We're talking about coach of the year. I picked Mike Tomlin. I know a lot of people probably don't agree with that. That's fine. Everybody has their opinions. I think he's the coach of the year, partly because of the decisions.
Sorry. Well, we're watching the Lakers game right now. LeBron just hit a tough bucket. So
I fucking love LeBron, dude.
Spurs Nuggets was actually a great game. During our technical difficulties, switched it to the Lakers, and LeBron's still doing his thing at 40. But continue.
All right, yeah, back into it. So he decides to pick Russ over Justin Fields after 4 weeks. And, Justin Fields did really well. He's a really good running threat. Kind of needs to work on his passing, but definitely a valuable running threat. And, a lot of people were kind of like, why are you choosing Russ over Justin Fields? I'm sure a lot of Steelers fans were a little confused on the decision. I was kind of confused a little bit even on the decision, but then Russ goes out and goes like 4-0 in his first 4 games. He's been, I think, 6-4 on the season. We've had some rough games the last 3 weeks. We've played some good opponents, but that's part of what he's done with this team. I think a lot of people counted us out too. He's kind of brought this really good, standard is the standard kind of mentality. And, he's never had a losing season since being our coach. I feel like he's been a really solid coach, and I feel like he's definitely deserving of the award. Probably won't win, but, that's my pick for Coach of the Year.
Fair pick, good reasoning. Our last award, we got Comeback Player of the Year. As we saw last year, player does not have to be coming back from injury. They can just be, really stepping their game back up with Joe Flacco last year coming in and leading the Browns to the playoffs after Deshaun Watson got injured.
Mm-hmm.
No one really gave the Browns a chance, but Joe Flacco got him there. Similar thing happened this season with my pick. JJ McCarthy got injured early in the season. Everyone was saying Vikings got no chance. Even my barber said the
That is a
Vikings
Vikings fan.
the Vikings have no chance with Sam Darnold. And this guy is 14-2. He's been slinging the ball. He's got great weapons to throw to, but you know, Nick Mullins, Kirk Cousins, other quarterbacks have never done as good with the current set of weapons as Sam Darnold has done, and that's why he's my comeback player of the year.
I 100% agree on that pick. I'm picking Sam Darnold on this one. He's had a fantastic year. He came off the year with the 49ers. He was the backup with Brock Purdy. I feel like, they kind of meshed well. He learned a lot. He's been in the league for a little while now. He's a first round pick, second pick?
Third overall pick by the Jets,
Third
of
overall
course.
pick by the
Uh,
Jets.
Clearly don't know how to develop quarterbacks, even if they're 40
Yeah.
years old. So, not really Sam Darnold's fault.
Yeah. I really think he's taken a big step. I'm really excited for his future career. I'm kind of hoping he stays with the Vikings, but I'm sure he's going to have a lot of jobs open up because JJ McCarthy will be healthy. But someone else could trade JJ McCarthy, so we'll see. But yeah, Sam
That's
Darnold's
true.
had a really good year. It's been a lot of fun to watch the Vikings. They've been a really good team. A lot of people were counting them out too, so that's another reason why.
All right. And then to finish this episode off, we're going to go through our top 5 quarterbacks, running backs, and receivers. We'll
All right.
start with quarterbacks.
So this is going to be in orders
Yep.
from 1 through 5.
Not a couple honorable
What we
mentions as well.
think are the top 5 quarterbacks right now in this moment, and then is what he said. The honorable mentions didn't quite make it into the top 5, but still having a hell of a year. All right, go ahead, man.
All right. My top 5, number 1, a little bit of bias here, but it is going to be Josh Allen. Like I've said before, the guy does everything. He's a freak, and he's marrying Haley Steinfeld, so kind of goated for that as well. Number 2, I'm going to go with Burrow. He's slinging that shit, so done it all year, and really just trying to make that last desperate attempt at making the playoffs. Josh is locked into the 2 seed, so he's not playing this week besides maybe one drive. Um, Burrow's my 2, then I'll go Lamar at 3. Even though he's my MVP pick, uh, I do think Burrow and Allen are better quarterbacks. Um, Lamar's definitely improved on his quarterback play in the past, I think, 6 or 7 years he's been in the league. But he's my 3. And this season alone, I'm going to put Mahomes at my 4. He's had probably his worst statistical season of his career, but he's still Patrick Mahomes, and the Chiefs are 15-1, I think. So I
Mm-hmm.
really can't do anything but include him in my top 5. And then I'm actually going to switch my 5th quarterback. It was Justin Herbert. I'm going to throw him in my honorable mentions. I'm going to put Baker Mayfield at 5. Second, tied for second in passing touchdowns, slinging the rock, and it looks like he's going to get the Bucks to the playoffs. Um, yeah, Baker Mayfield's just had a great resurgence since leaving Cleveland, leaving the Panthers. He had that great game coming off of 2 days notice with
Mm-hmm.
the Rams, and then he's been amazing with the Bucks. And then also with Justin Herbert in my honorable mentions, I got Jared Goff. He's had a great season. He's top 5 in passing yards, but he does have a lot of great weapons. Best running back duo in the league with Montgomery and Gibbs. Um, 2 pretty good receivers, one in the top 5 with Amon-Ra and also Jamison Williams, and then he's got Sam Laporta, and probably the best offensive line in the entire NFL.
Definitely.
Those are my top 5.
All right, my top 5 QBs right now. I'm going to put Josh Allen at 1. I agree with him. I think he's had a really good season. He's done a lot of good things with the Bills. They've kind of turned this offense around ever since Diggs left, Gabe Davis left. It's not about, one person. It's about everybody, involving everybody. No one's being selfish. He's had a great season. I'm going to go with him at the 1. I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson at the 2. He's had a really good season this year. He's had one of the best passing seasons he's ever had. 3, I'm gonna go Pat Mahomes. He's still Patrick Mahomes. He has 2 Super Bowls. He's had one of his worst, if not his worst season this year, but he's still finding ways to win in games. A couple of the wins were
A little
pretty
fraudulent.
damn lucky.
Yep.
But I still got him in my 3 spot. I got Joe Burrow in my 4 spot. He's still really good. Obviously, he's had a really good season this year. But most likely not going to make the playoffs. But still a fantastic quarterback. He's definitely in my top 5. And like he said, my 5th pick is going to be Baker Mayfield. I think he's been absolutely amazing ever since he's went to the Bucs. He's got a lot of weapons around him, but he's still a really good quarterback. And he's kind of like Sam Darnold, where we're given another chance with some good weapons. You can perform, you can win games, you can make it to the playoffs. That's my 5th pick. And then some honorable mentions. I got Jared Goff. He's had a really good season with the Lions. They have the most wins they've ever had, I believe.
Yep. In 100+ years of history.
Yeah, that franchise has really turned itself around. They got a new GM. They got Dan Campbell.
Oh, yeah, man. We got dogs in there, man.
Bite some kneecaps off, man. Justin Herbert's had a really good season as well. One of his best seasons. And then lastly, Sam Darnold as well. He's had a really good season, performing at a very high level.
Running backs are next. My top 5 were pretty easy to pick, besides the 5th and then the honorable mentions. Saquon's the easy one, offensive player of the year. Could be an MVP candidate. It's pretty easy. 2,000 rushing yards. Haven't seen that in a while since the second guy on the list, Derrick Henry. He's in his 30s now, and he's still proving why he's one of the best backs in the league. He's the best power back in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Still running dudes over consistently, and I think that going to the Ravens really, solidified how good he can be in a good offensive team.
For sure. Really good player.
3, I'm actually going to go with Jahmyr Gibbs, and I feel like we've really seen him start to improve since David Montgomery's got hurt.
That dude is fast, dude.
Jahmyr Gibbs, he was balling even when he was playing with Montgomery. I mean, the two of them together were fantasy nightmares. If you had to face them, if you had them, it was a blessing. But Jahmyr Gibbs has really started to go off last couple weeks. Could be the reason why the Lions stay in the game, maybe even win. Number 4, Bijan Robinson. I had him in fantasy this year and got me second place, so love him for that. But Bijan, given the right scheme, I feel like he could be even better than he is now. I feel like they use Tyler Algier way too much, which pisses me off most of the time. But yeah, Bijan's still top 5 in talent. He's my 4. And then Josh Jacobs, he's been really good for the Packers this year. Hasn't scored as many touchdowns until as of late. He started to get in the end zone more. But rushing-wise, he's definitely one of the top 5 talent. And a couple honorable mentions. I got Kyron Williams. Been pretty consistent all year, scored a
Mm-hmm.
lot of touchdowns. And
He's
then
been very good.
also shout out James Cook. That's my boy. Should have made the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, he got snubbed.
He got stumped. He
He
leads the
got
league
snubbed
in
big time,
rushing and
dude.
scrimmage touchdowns. So I don't know
That's
how you
crazy,
don't.
man.
I don't know how you don't make the Pro Bowl at least. But it's all right. We sleep on him, so we get those touchdowns in the playoffs. So shout out James Cook. I love you.
All right. Here's my top 5 running backs. At the 1, I got Saquon. Obviously he's had a career year. He's at 2,000 yards. I got Derrick Henry at number 2. Like he was saying, he can. He's still proven that he can really run. He's second in rushing yards.
Killed the Bills. That was brutal. Had like a
Yeah, he's
97-yard touchdown or
he's
something.
been fantastic. He's getting older, but he's still playing at a high level. At 3, I also have Jahmyr Gibbs. He's been really kind of surging this year, especially after David Montgomery had his injury a couple of weeks ago. He's been really good. His total yards have been ridiculous. He's really good in the pass game. His offensive line is obviously like one of the best in the league, if not the best. Let's see. Number 4, I got Josh Jacobs. He started kind of slow. He was in a new system, came from the Raiders, and then he's really been cranking it up towards the end of the season, going into the playoffs. He's been really good. And then my number 5 is going to be Kyron Williams, just because he's so consistent, man. He plays on the Rams, such an explosive offense. He's been really good, very consistent over the years. And then for an honorable mention, I would say Bijan Robinson. He's been really good this year too. Even though I feel like they don't use him enough,
Nope.
especially in the pass game. I feel like they should get him
It's
going a little
ridiculous.
bit in like the check down pass game.
Yep.
I feel like they don't use him enough. But yeah, that's my honorable mention. Do you want to get into the receivers as last?
Yep. I feel like for me, this one was the easiest, at least to put in order. Number 1 is Justin Jefferson. He's been the most consistent receiver in the league ever since he got into the league. He's had 1,000 yards, I think, every season since he's gotten to the league. Even with, last year, Kirk Cousins gets hurt halfway through the season. Jettas is hurt. He's got his hamstring issues, I think, and then still is
Yep.
able to put up good numbers towards the end of the season despite pretty subpar quarterback play. So Jettas is pretty easily my number 1. Jamar Chase is my number 2. Been elite this year, leads the league in receiving yards. It looks like before the season he might not even play. He had his contract issues, but came into the building ready to go and has been on a tear ever since. Number 3, I got Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's been really good this year despite there being a lot of talent on the Lions offense. He's still found a way to stand out and have 1,000+ receiving yards this year, a bunch of touchdowns as well. I think he scored a touchdown in maybe 7 or 8 straight games. So
Yeah, he was really good.
Mana has
Very good.
been on fire the whole year. Number 4.
I hope he stays healthy though.
Yeah.
Got one more big game to go. So
Yep. Number 4, I got CeeDee Lamb. It's still top 3 in receiving yards this year, despite having Cooper Rush be his quarterback for, I think, over half the season. They have
crazy,
been
man.
kind of
Crazy.
force-feeding him some games, but he's still getting open. So cover him.
Yeah.
If you're not covering him, then you're just going to keep giving up big gains and a lot of yards to CeeDee Lamb, and he's been a dog this year. Then number 5, this one was kind of a toss-up between the guy I picked and then my 2 honorable mentions. I'm going to go with Puka Nacua. He only played 11 games this season and is still almost at 1,000 yards. He really balled out when given the chance, especially the game against the Bills. He thrashed us, even though his last touchdown should have been a holding. Not going to get too mad at that. Puka's a freak. When he's healthy, he is better than Cooper Kupp. He's the best player on that Rams team. And yeah, he's in my top 5. And then honorable mentions, I'm going to go Mike Evans. I think he needs like 100 more yards maybe to get 1,000 yards for like 11 straight seasons. He's just Mr. Consistent. He's already Hall of Famer, and he's just been really consistent this year, despite being injured a few games. Been good. Then AJ Brown as well. Missed a few games early on, but since then he's been going. Yeah, those are my receivers.
All right, let's dive into my list. At the 1, I got Justin Jefferson. He's been, amazing ever since he's gotten in the league. Very consistent. He's playing on a good Vikings team. He's really, letting his other teammates get involved as well when he gets double teamed. He's had a really good start to his career. Number 2, I got Jamar Chase. He's leading in receiving yards, I think receiving touchdowns in every category. He's probably going to win the Triple Crown, which is pretty crazy. He's had a really good year. Let's see. At number 3, I got CeeDee Lamb. I feel like he's still been really good, even though it's been very subpar quarterback play. Without having Dak Prescott, he's been very good still, in kind of a crappy system. But yeah, that's my number 3. Number 4, I got Amon-Ra. Amon-Ra's been amazing ever since he's gotten into the league. He's just been lights out. He's on a really good Lions team that's going to consistently be in the playoffs for the next years to come. Got a really good coach. Got a really good offensive coordinator. Hopefully he stays. We'll see what happens with that. But number 5, a little bit surprising maybe for some people, but I got Mike Evans, man. I think he's been absolutely amazing. He's got 1,000 yards every single year he's been in the league. I think the last time he didn't was in high school or something, which is pretty
Probably
crazy.
accurate, yeah.
Yeah, I think I researched that a little bit. I think the last time he didn't have 1,000 yards was like high school, which
That's
is
crazy.
ridiculous to me. That's like,
Texas A&M guy.
he's been
I
really
think he played
good.
with Johnny Manziel.
Yeah, he was really good. And then some honorable mentions. Puka Nakua has been, really good. He's on a really good Rams team that's really dangerous for the playoffs. He's pushing almost 1,000 yards for not playing the whole season. AJ Brown as well. He's been really good. He's always been good ever since he's been on the Eagles. He's really helping that team out to propel them forward to win some playoff games. And then another one that kind of came to mind, especially this season, but definitely previous seasons, Jordan Addison.
Yeah,
He's
played really
been
well this season.
He's been really good. He's kind of on the come up. He's obviously behind he's obviously behind Justin Jefferson, but he's really taken a step forward. He's filling in that number 2 role for Kevin O'Connell's offense. He's been really good. Had a really good season. He's also a really good guy to bat on for a touchdown.
I like that. I like that take.
That's my list right there.
Any bets for this weekend before we wrap it up?
I don't know, man. I might not bet too much this weekend just because some teams are not playing their starters.
That's
some
fair.
teams are. We'll have to look into that.
I like the Addison touchdown, though.
Addison's been really good, man. I don't know. It hit for me last week, so
Yeah,
he's been really
fair
good.
enough.
Been really good, so yeah.
I like that. Well, I think that's all we got for today. Thank you guys for watching, listening. Please subscribe. Leave any comments on what you want to see from us in the future. Probably going to film a couple more episodes of our podcast tonight, maybe.
Yeah. Try to, get a good head start on this.
Yeah.
Kind of got a little late start to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got a lot more content coming for you guys.
Got our Cortica interviews coming soon.
Cortica interviews coming. A lot of different stuff coming. Leave some comments down below, like he said.
Yeah, if you want to see like vlogs or any different types of content too, like
for sure.
Little gym vlog or something like that, it'd be kind of fun.
Yeah, some vlog content. Drop a like. Hit the subscribe button. We will see you guys in the next one.
Peace.
Peace out.